In all those years of being super motivated and doing all those things, I was not even motivated. I was more disciplined. I did a lot of things that I didn't like, and it really broke me. It really was. It really was really hard on me, especially on my mental health. I was reading David Goggins, and I was struggling mentally, really hard. And my way of coping with my struggles was actually torture myself, and I also tried to be as hard as possible, because I really believed in this idea. If you're gonna be uncomfortable all the time, you're gonna feel better because you're gonna get used to that really shitty feeling, and so the normal days are gonna feel happier. So when it was like Sunday, I will run the whole day, so like 50 kilometers. I'm like almost 100 kilos, so it was really heavy on my knees and really heavy on my back. And I will run for maybe 7 hours, and I will break myself fully down. I had really trouble with sleeping, so I slept maybe 3 hours every night. I was stressing super badly. My looks like really started to like go down. I was actually looking really bad. I'm not saying that I'm now really pretty, but compared to like the baseline, it was actually getting really bad, and my hair was falling out. I was getting my sweat started to smell weird because of the stress hormones, and I also had really struggle with gaining muscle, and I just was struggling in many ways. And I also was like really deep in the OCD, so I was constantly washing myself. I was constantly doing routines, and eventually that broke me. And if you have like mental health, and if you have like issues, and you're gonna see social media, and you're gonna really think that everything is about a mindset, and everything is about doing routines, doing things better, that is a really dangerous thing to say. You have also a lot of people that say like, hey, if you have mental health problems, it's just something between your ears, and if you're gonna like wake up really early, and you're gonna do your bed, and you're gonna run every day, and you're gonna do a lot of things that you're not gonna like, mental health is something that is not really existing. And I was really believing this, and that's why I didn't listen to myself, and I almost killed myself. I was using so much drugs and like drinks to like cope with this in the weekends, because I was just so done and tired of everything. And I was like, why do I not feel better? I'm constantly working on myself. Why I don't even look better? And I was doing things in like a really inefficient way, and I was actually just really struggling. And it started to be better, like it took a long time, but it started to get a little bit better when I started to listen to myself. And it was really a struggle, because I always thought that if you have mental health, if you have depression, or if you're gonna do something to yourself, you're just a weak person. Why you are weak? Because you're not doing the things that you not like, you are not working on it, and it's just something that's just your fault, and that's just what it is. And that is not really true, and it's really dangerous that people are saying this, because you have to look like this. If you're gonna break your leg like fully, you cannot really run on that leg anymore. And how bad you are gonna say like, hey, it is not broken, the leg is still broken, and it still needs recovery. And your brain is something like that, but it's way more complicated, and it's like a pattern machine. So if you're gonna be in the wrong patterns, you can be getting really sick from that. You can lose chemicals, you can be overloaded, and you also can have some mental issues. It can also be genetics. But if you're not gonna take that part serious, and you're gonna keep walking on that leg, you will get like more problems, because you're gonna walk in a different way. Your hips will break down, and when your hips break down, you will have problems with your lower back, and before you know, you're just gonna be dead, and that is literally what it is with mental health. If you're not gonna fix, if you're not gonna process those things, and you're gonna constantly keep saying to yourself, it's because I'm weak, it's like a way that I'm just a weak person, and I'm saying this to myself and as an excuse, is a really dangerous thing to do, because eventually my OCD was getting so bad that I literally cannot even leave my house anymore. I was constantly checking, constantly being in super high anxiety. And it was just a really horrible place to be in. And because my brains made all those patterns, it took a long time to get even a little bit out of there. And now it's getting better, but it is because I finally was like, hey, I have to stop. There was also like a lot of things in my personal life happening, but when I started to say to myself, mental health is a real thing, and when I started to say to myself like, hey, you don't have to torture yourself, you don't have to do this, you also have to listen to yourself. And I when I said those things, it didn't even work. But it started to work for me when I was saying to myself, hey, if you want to have more muscle, you need to take better care of recovery, because you're going to have a lot of stress hormones, and stress hormones will make your hormones, like testosterone, it will make your manly hormones down, so it's going to be more difficult to lose fat and to build muscle. So I tried to make it really inefficient, and it is really inefficient to constantly torture yourself. You know, I started to believe in cold showers, and cold showers actually give a lot of stress hormones, and maybe like a 30 seconds cold shower can maybe have some really small benefits, but I was doing it eventually for 30 minutes because I thought like, hey, how long I'm gonna be in this cold shower, how bad it's gonna be. And I was the whole night, every night I was like sick from standing in that shower for 20 minutes, and it's giving me so much stress that I barely slept, and everything was started to go down, and I started to be like, hey, it's not true. I started to listen books, I started to be more inspired, to get more motivation from David Goggins and from all those really smart people with really heavy philosophical ideas. And I kept going, and I was like, hey, this is just character development, and eventually it literally didn't fix the problem, and that's just what I tried to say. By just keeping ignoring it is not going to fix the problem. You may be going to cope around it, and you're not going to be yourself, you're not going to be the person who you should be, because you're just going to act like everything is fine, and you're going to be a different person. And how long are you going to ignore your real feelings? How long are you going to ignore all those things? How worse it's going to be, and eventually you're just going to lose yourself. You're going to be a really black and white scene person. You're going to think that if you have therapy, you're weak. You're going to say those things like depression isn't real. I'm not saying that you are a sad person. I'm saying that you have to take active steps to fix it, you know, and not be like ignorant and not listen to all those people on social media, because it's not always about mentality, about discipline, about motivation. Because I can assure you that I was the most disciplined person that you will ever meet. I was running ultra runs while I'm 100 kilos untrained. I did crazy stuff to show myself that I'm disciplined, because I was like, hey, maybe I'm not disciplined enough. So I was doing all those things to be like, hey, I'm disciplined, and I will make this whole list of things I did, so I can say to other people and to myself that I'm disciplined, because I wanted to fix this problem. So if you struggle mentally, take it serious, take steps, don't ignore it, don't gonna look the other way. It's the same like if you have overweight. You can choose to be like, hey, I'm pretty like this, and it's so okay. But if you're gonna look at it like in an efficient way, you're gonna live longer if you're healthy, you're gonna feel better if you're healthy, even your hormones are gonna be better. So it has so much more influence than just cosmetic looks, you know. It has way more influence than that. So keep saying, you can keep coping and saying like, hey, it's fine, this is who I am. Or you're gonna be like, hey, this is really inefficient, and I wanna live a good life as possible, so maybe I should take those things serious, you know. And so really take mental health serious. Don't take it like, don't look up things on social media, because not everyone will really deal with those things. And for me, it was an eye-opener when I saw people really almost on a weekly basis try to kill themselves, and not like to get attention, but they were really trying it. It is a real thing, and it is really something that you should take serious. So don't be like, hey, I'm weak. It's not always about weak discipline motivation, because there's something that people want to sell. That's how a lot of people make money, because a lot of young men or women are really hopeless, and they try to like find a way of coping. They try to find a person who is going to say those things to them, because they maybe feel like nothing, and then they're gonna do crazy stuff to fill up the void inside of their own minds. But really take it serious. So let me know what you think about this video, and I see you next time.